Have you ever heard of Project Monarch? To some, it's a shadowy name whispered in internet forums, a mind control program designed to turn ordinary people into programmable agents. To others, it's a fictional comic book universe filled with satire and secret societies. And to many outside of online speculation, Project Monarch is simply a name used by entirely unrelated, real-world initiatives, from butterfly tracking to AI infrastructure platforms to research on veterans' health. Let's unpack each layer, because the story behind Project Monarch is as much about how conspiracy theories spread as it is about what's real. The most infamous version of Project Monarch comes from the world of conspiracy lore, specifically from the claims made by Cathy O'Brien, an author and self-described survivor of a government mind control program. In her 1995 book, Transformation of America, O'Brien claims she was a victim of a subset of the CIA's infamous Project MKUltra, a real-world research program into behavioral manipulation conducted by the United States intelligence community during the Cold War era. Project MKUltra, which ran from the 1950s into the early 1970s, involved experiments with drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and other techniques in an effort to alter people's mental states and behaviors, often without their consent. It was exposed in the mid-1970s and officially condemned as a violation of basic human rights and ethical standards. But while MKUltra itself was real and documented, Project Monarch is not. O'Brien's claims about it are part of the conspiracy version. A story, she says, involved extreme physical and psychological trauma used to induce dissociative identity disorders and create programmed alters that could be triggered with specific words or symbols. She also tied in elements like entertainment imagery, butterflies, The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, which theorists say act as subconscious triggers. Crucially, scholars and researchers have found no credible evidence that Project Monarch ever existed as a formal program, nor that the CIA ran a program by that name. The supposed memories of being part of it were recovered under hypnosis, a method widely criticized by medical and psychological experts for its high risk of creating false or implanted memories. There are numerous inconsistencies in O'Brien's story, and no documents from MKUltra files mention Project Monarch by name. Despite the lack of evidence, the legend of Project Monarch lives on in conspiracy circles, often intertwined with broader claims about elite control, secret experiments, and coded messaging through pop culture. It's a story that demonstrates how dramatic claims can spread when they resonate with public fears about secrecy and manipulation, even when there's no substantiating documentation. At the same time, the name Project Monarch has been used elsewhere in completely unrelated contexts. In the world of fiction, Project Monarch is the title of a graphic novel released in 2023, written by Michael Avon Oeming and Victor Santos. This comic uses the idea of secret conspiracies as satire, following a film director who faked the moon landing and finds himself dealing with a mysterious secret organization. A humorous and self-aware twist on the very theories that gave rise to the name. It's a reminder that the idea of hidden agendas and covert projects can be turned back on itself in storytelling. And beyond theory and fiction, Project Monarch is simply a name adopted by several real positive initiatives with nothing to do with mind control. In wildlife conservation, Project Monarch is a community science effort to track butterfly migration using Bluetooth transmitters, a high-tech approach to helping people understand and protect monarch butterflies. In technology infrastructure, a platform called the Monarch Compute Campus has been developed to provide massive power capacity to AI data centers, again, totally unrelated to any secret experiments. In academic research, the Monarch project at a UK university focuses on understanding the health and welfare needs of veterans and their families, a completely separate mission from the conspiratorial version. So when you hear the phrase Project Monarch, what does it really mean? It can mean any of these things. A conspiracy legend tied to theories about the CIA and mind control. A piece of fictional satire that plays with the very idea of secret plots. Or simply the name of legitimate projects aimed at butterfly tracking, AI infrastructure, or veteran research. The conspiracy theory version is a powerful example of how real history, in this case, the genuine and disturbing story of Project MK Ultra's unethical experiments, can be transformed into something much more sensational and far-reaching in public imagination. But it's important to recognize the difference between documented history and speculative lore, because sometimes a name is just a name, and other times it becomes a mirror reflecting our fears, our curiosity, and the stories we tell when we don't have all the answers.